in straight away. Hey, welcome to Brisbane Small Business Show. I'm Kevin Gammy. I've actually got with me Katrina Puranik. You see, I always go, is that the right pronunciation? But you beat me to it. So no, it's not. Puranik. Pronounced much more like Siri does rather than that Kevin does. But Katrina is an expert in the whole world of web stuff, websites and your digital marketing things and all that sort of stuff. She's here today to tell us a little bit more about how important it is to get the right terms on stuff that you want found. They're called keywords. I get lost as soon as people start talking about keywords. So let's just think in terms of search terms. But before we get on to that, I want to find out a little bit more about why is any of this important?
Well, the reason keywords are important, Kevin, and can I just say thank you for having me on the show this morning. It's a real pleasure. I see the sessions go live every week and I love to join in. So thank you so much for having me. So getting back to keywords, the point of using high volume search terms is you want to get found. You want your website, your business to be found online. So you need to tune into what people are using to actually find you, to search online. And we don't always know exactly what people are searching for online. So we need to make sure that we've got the proper research in place.
And that's a really critical thing. We'll come back to that in a minute because it seems to be, you know, almost the ninth wonder. If compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, keywords seem to be the ninth. So we'll get there in a second. But your background, tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into this wonderful world of web stuff.
It's not a short story of any means, but I started out as a teacher, actually. I was a high school teacher of many different subjects in the public system. You don't end up sticking to one particular area, so you become a bit of a jack of all trades, I guess. And it was I guess the motivation and inspiration from one particular group of kids that ended up getting me to, or encouraging me to make a move on an opportunity that I had to go down to Sydney. And then 2 days later, I ended up enrolling in my master's in IT. So here I am now working for myself. So
how long ago was that?
That would have been in 2013.
2013. So we're 7 years ago. You've been basically refining both your knowledge and skills and all that sort of stuff in this area for the last 7 years. I know that you're very involved in a number of different business networks and that sort of stuff. You also run your own digital toolkit show thing once a week. That's pretty cool. So like me, you have a passion for sharing information and getting information into the hands of people, small business owners, who are people, by the way. And it's really important because there is so much mystery and innuendo and hearsay on all things web that we're really not sure what to believe. And is it really just snake oil, or is there a real process and system behind it and all that sort of stuff? But over the last 7 years, I imagine you found that it's not a secret, that there is a process.
Definitely. And come to that process very shortly. But I think, sifting through, I guess, all the information and events and people out there who want to either, get hired to show you, take courses to learn, that sort of thing. I think, making sure that you research your business and obviously how you're going to actually get up online and get found. I think listening to the experts is going to give you the most benefit of succeeding online and finding out. I mean, there's so many things out there at the moment that in order to help small business in relation to advising them digitally. So you've got the ASBOS program and obviously the hot and healthy hot topics that's just come up as well every Monday, and as well as the digital toolkit every Wednesday. So these are free. There's plenty of free events to take advantage of, and there are digital experts in there that have been, endorsed and recommended by Brisbane City Council, by their peers, and I think our peers are the best judge of who to actually go to when they're recommended by other experts and potentially people that you know. So.
There's this other place, Brisbane Small Business has a pretty cool list of experts as well, including yourself. So, of course, I'm going to plug us. That's what we're here for. Now, at the end of the day, right, the keywords are critically important. And, if we think of, rather than thinking in terms of keywords, I kind of got very confused when people kept talking to me about keywords. Every single time I talk to a digital person, keywords. And I got sick of the term. I'm going to encourage people to think in terms of, this is the stuff that your clients are asking for.
Yes, because that's what's going to motivate them to find you. Definitely.
That's it. People don't search for left-handed plumbers. So there's no point having left-handed plumber as one of your keywords. But we're going to find out more. You actually have a strategy around how to go about working out what keywords, and you've pointed out to me very correctly that improve my knowledge, that we need a few of them. We can't just go after one, right? Because even if we've got to dominate one, not everybody is going to be searching that term. So we need to have a few that we're ranking really well for, have that. So what's the process?
Okay, well, let me just share my screen with you. I've got a few things
if you
here.
share your screen, I'll make sure we put it up on here. We're going to disappear. We promise not to make funny faces or do anything like that. As soon as we're ready.
All right.
Cool. We're going to add that to the screen. In fact, we're going to disappear here. There you go. I'm equally as disadvantaged as you are right now. I can't see anything either. So we've got Ranking Australia. We've got, here's the whole thing. So get found online, get active online, Ranking Australia, and build your brand. So tell us all about that.
Okay, so this is essentially our main areas of specialties. So we work with small businesses to build their web presence and get them found online through looking at their content and SEO, which is obviously a lot to do with the keywords. And then the keywords also come to play in the social media with regards to your hashtags. And this has a really big impact when you're talking about Instagram, for example, LinkedIn as well. It does work in Facebook as well, but it has more value in Instagram and LinkedIn. And then obviously your keywords come into play tremendously when you're talking about Google Ads for online marketing as well.
Cool.
So just quickly, I wanted to mention the digital toolkit that happens every Wednesday at 1:30. It is a free event. Here are some of the lovely individuals we have involved. You probably recognize Andrea Anderson. I think she was on your show last week or week before.
She was on last week or the week before. Absolutely.
So we regularly have at least 5 or 6 digital experts join us every week. So please do have a look at Ranking Australia's page to find out more.
That's even a heavily bearded David Letizia there that I almost didn't recognise, but hey, that's pretty cool. Hey, a lot of these people are already members of Brisbane Small Business. A lot of them are on the directory already and all that sort of stuff. And it's great you can integrate, have this cross-fertilisation, because we're all in it together and we're all helping each other out. So the next page.
So these are the brands that we have involved. So the faces you saw on the previous page, these are their lovely companies and how you can actually find them online. We do have a Facebook expert there, which is incredible, Dante St. James from up in Northern Territory, but he does travel all over Australia. Andrea Anderson's Your Marketing Machines, and the list goes on.
Fantastic.
Okay, so coming right down to the process, if you like, for finding the right keywords. One of the first and foremost elements of getting this process started is understanding who your client is, understanding the demographics, understanding their interests, their what they do for work, in other words, what makes them tick, where are they living and breathing online, are they more in the social realms with regards to are they more into socializing online with friends and having fun in Facebook, or are they more in the, I guess, white collar, focusing in the professional social realm? So we've got the LinkedIn network. What caliber of search terms are they using? So in other words, what language, what are the linguistics that come into play? And that is understanding your market, your ideal client, and what their capacity is to actually find you using the search terms. So I would definitely advise talking to a branding strategist to understand the nitty-gritty of how your clients actually behave. But for the most part, I mean, you have a fair idea of whether you're looking for, the just general public, mums, working dads, for example, or whether your clients are in a particular industry, whether they're in the mechanic industry, whether they're in the retail industry, that sort of thing. You have a fair idea of what their capacity is linguistically, and you can go in now without too much assumption. You can at least, construct some general content that would be relevant based on their pain needs, or their what pains are you going to resolve with your landing page, which is the next page, the next step of the process. So the landing page needs to pull in the keywords. So you obviously need to have a fair idea of what it is you want to be talking about. Structure that landing page using a magnetic content structure, if you like. I've got the 4 Ps that I use, which I can show you in a moment.
I was going to say, you're getting really technical there. So we need to so basically, once we understand our client really well and we start to understand the problems that they're having, then we're going to be starting to think about how we're going to construct our landing page. But with our landing page, we still need to be using a lot of keywords on that landing page, yeah?
That's right. So
we're starting to think about the structure of it, but we're not building it just yet, because what we want to do with the ideas we've got, we need to go to your 3rd slide, don't we?
Yeah. Well, basically, we structure the landing page first and have a fair idea of what it is we actually want on that page. And then we apply an SEO filter. Okay.
Cool.
So we've got to know what we want to talk about, because we need to know what to search for. Right?
Yeah.
So we need to know what realm of keywords we're going to be looking into. So the keyword research comes into looking into Google data. Now, there's a very, very, very useful tool that I use every day without fail. It's called Keywords Everywhere, but you may need some help in deciphering how to use that data. Okay, so that's where you give someone like myself a call, or another SEO specialist.
Yep.
So just to show you another screen quickly. Where is it? Okay, so here are 4 absolute musts with keywords, and obviously, focusing around SEO. To do the research for your keywords, look at what keywords your competitors are using, and then prepare for leads. So you need some kind of call to action, and then what's going to happen when people actually go to that page. You need to have some sort of automation in place. David Letizia is very good to talk to about that one. Following the 4 Ps, so creating a picture of what it is, what is the pain relievers or the solution you have for your clients. Give them something that you can resolve. Give them something to look forward to. That's your promise. What are you going to do for them? And then prove that you can actually do it. Testimonials example screenshots, however you want to do it, and then actually push them to engage. So whether they're going to sign up, give you their email, or purchase something, or however, book a ticket. But that's the 4 Ps, and that's the structure of the landing page that you need to apply the keywords to. And those keywords need to be in your title, in your meta description, which is the SEO data in the back end of the page, as well as in the content. So it goes beyond just putting it into the paragraphs, etc. It comes down to actually where you're going to place it in the actual code of the website. If it's WordPress, it's pretty easy. You get Yoast SEO, for example, which is a fairly good one. There are others out there. There's plenty of websites that have SEO tools inside, Shopify, etc. They're pretty synonymous with those processes in the settings. If it's a very unique, manually created website, well, then you need to physically put the code in there for meta title, metadata.
Okay, let's not get into technical stuff because that's way too deep. Let's come back up. What we really want to find out and what we promised them we're going to deliver today is our keywords. How do we decide what keywords we're going to do? Let's get to that.
Okay, so showing you keywords everywhere. Now you'll notice as I search, there was information that come up underneath that, but this is how you find your keywords and how it works. So this is keywordseverywhere.com. And to learn how to decipher them, you can always give me a call at Ranking Australia. I have my numbers on my website, but it's 0449 578 or
if you just search Katrina in the directory, you'll find us straight away. That's the easy way of doing it.
Yeah. So we've got keywords everywhere giving us some information under the search term. If you can see that, I'll just zoom in. So it doesn't matter if we type dentist near me, for example. There we go. We've got the search volume per month on average here in Australia, thanks to that.
So what time should you go to the dentist?
Well,
at 2:30.
It is up to the dentist, I guess, and availability. And whenever you need it.
At 2:30. 2:30, you get it? See what I did there? Anyway,
that's very funny.
So back to you. So we go into, we can find out with keywords everywhere. That can start giving us a little bit. We could see that 10,000 people per month were typing in dentist near me in keywords everywhere. So what else do we need to consider when we're choosing our keywords?
Need to consider the level of competition, the cost per click. So if you've got digital marketing in play, the cost per click and the competition come into play. So if it's a solid 1, you cannot achieve organic ranking. You need to have digital marketing in place. So if it's a 0.75 on competition and below, it may be achievable organically if you have an incredible SEO specialist. I know one. But the cost per click is how much it's actually going to cost to get someone to land on your page, your landing page, which is created by the Google Ads. So
let me ask you a few more questions, because this is going to help us understand exactly what we need to be doing a little bit better. So if it's above 0.75, don't even think about it if you are only trying to do your own posting of blogs and videos and stuff like that, right? You need to get some paid advertise to even get a look in.
Well, it's not something that you don't want to think about, because your SEO, the power, the structure of your landing pages and how well you've done your keyword research help reduce the cost per click and the quality of your ads. So they do SEO and ads, Google Ads go hand in hand. So you will not get there without the ads as well.
That's what I was saying. So, so in reality, if it's already at 0.75 or above, If you're not prepared to invest, pick another keyword, because you won't get found. There are some ways to cut through, and they are by producing the right piece of content, putting into groups that you're part of and that sort of stuff, if that's appropriate, and utilizing that. You need to have high quality content. You need to be thinking about Google My Business and all that sort of stuff. So where below what can we get a good reach organically? If we've got our competition is at at the other end, not 1, if it's close to 0 rather than 1, is it at below 0.6? So below 0.6. So below 0.6, then you can at least give it a burl, okay, and produce some really good quality content. See how that's going, and then if you're getting some pickup with the words that you've selected, then if you invest a little in advertising, then it's going to go ballistic. Well, it's going to go much better for you. Yeah?
Definitely.
Cool. So I'm starting to understand that. We need to combine that with when we invest in advertising, what the cost per click is, so that we can start to generate what expenditure we need on a campaign on a daily basis to start getting noticed and recognized and getting a reasonable return on investment. Is that correct?
Yes, there's a lot more to it though, Kevin, with relation to return on investment, but it is a extended. There's not enough time in the session to explore that, but just keeping in mind that the cost per click is paying to get them there. It's not paying to convert them. So it comes down to the strength of your content and the way you've created that push to get them to engage.
Absolutely. And the really important point that you've made here throughout this is that no matter what, if you're going to put all of this effort into attracting them, capture them. Make sure that you have a way that you can get the information, the key information, at very minimum an email address from
you want them in your database, definitely.
If your goal is to sell, a $5 product online straight away without getting in your database, that's cool. But if this is going to be likely a considered decision, then you need to make sure that you are capturing them so that you can nurture them. Such a small percentage of people are ready to buy today, right? People want to think about stuff. So
one key message I'd like to leave with everyone, and that is, if your cost per click or the competition is surprisingly high for what it is you do, what is it that is low cost, low competition that you can actually marginalize and win them on that first? And then once they're in your database, you can then remarket to them with the high value product.
Absolutely. Build a sales process. Really important. Absolutely critical, and particularly the stuff that we should be thinking about during this time. Now, if you are a tradesperson, if you're an electrician, when people are searching, I want an electrician, they want an electrician now, so you don't need to worry about a sales funnel per se, but you do need to be in front of them, and you do need to have different ways of talking to your clients so that you can be front of mind next time they need an electrician. However, if you are in the knowledge industry, if you sell a service, then quite often you'll need to have a more structured approach to that. Now, you talked to me earlier about the importance of not just having one keyword, right? So if you're a coach or a consultant across any genre, whether that is Facebook marketing or whether that is confidence or whether that is business mentoring, whatever it is, you don't just want to be fighting on one key term.
No, definitely. You do have a major, I guess, umbrella key phrase that you want to focus on, because that's what's going to go into the title of your page and then be used as your main keyword. But you also want synonyms, you want associative keywords, you want other keywords to go with it to strengthen the content, the value of the content for Google to actually pick you up. So if, for example, you want to talk about tax returns. You're going to focus on all the little terms that go with tax returns. So you're going to talk about tax deductions. You're going to talk about accountants and the location that you want people to find you in. So if it's Brisbane, you're going to have accountants Brisbane somewhere in there. You're going to have fast tax returns in there somewhere. And depending on the platform that you're using for your website, whether it's WordPress, very easy done, whether it's Encore, very easy done. If it's Shopify, very easy done. You've got more options for keywords. You've got your main keyword and you've got your additional keywords there to add in. The more keywords that you have, I guess, making sure that it's, subject consistent, then it'll make it more relevant and you actually show up. And then come back to, I guess, the social side of things. Hashtags, are you going to use one hashtag? No. Are you going to use 10 or 15? No, because then it gets too lost. You want to try and focus on three main hashtags at maximum. I do believe that LinkedIn actually boots or won't allow you to publish more than so many hashtags. So it's just
I think it gives you, we won't worry about exact numbers. That's not important. So yeah, so the importance is, what's the difference between a keyword and a hashtag?
Hashtag kind of categorizes your posts, but you will find that people search for hashtags.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes people search for hashtags. Sometimes they'll just type in a search term and say, I want an accountant in Brisbane. Other times they might put in their search term, I want a quick tax return. And so you've got to think about all these different things if you're an accountant. So here's the importance of having multiple keywords. Using a tool like Keywords Everywhere can help you understand the volume of people that are looking at different terms and that sort of stuff. It'll also give you the competition that how many people are competing or how likely you are to get noticed in that volume, and therefore the likely whether you need to be investing in jumping up the queue or whether you can actually do that organically, and how much you need to be investing. That's going to come to a combination of the level of competition and also the price per click. Have I kind of got it vaguely right there?
Yes. Well done.
So everybody that just missed what I said, just rewind and go back and watch that a few times and you'll be fine. Look, Katrina, this has been awesome. As I said, Katrina, on the directory, the business name one more time.
Ranking Australia.
It's on the bottom of the screen there. You can see that. And, jump into the directory. If you can't remember Ranking Australia, just think, hey, there was that Katrina girl. If you use that as a search term in the directory, you will find Katrina straight away. Katrina's going to be sharing hints and tips from her directory listing across into Brisbane Small Business a little bit more regularly so that people can see her. She was the one that told us you've got to stay active online. You've got to produce news articles, blogs and stuff. She's going to be doing that and sharing them across appropriately from her directory listing to make sure that she's helping you all on a much more regular basis, because I would love more help from Katrina. I'm sure you would too. Thanks very much for the time. One day I'm going to actually learn how to get these shows into 10 minutes, but I'm failing miserably at that. But they are full of awesome content. And for that, I want to thank you, Katrina.
No worries. My pleasure, Kevin. Thank you for having me very much.
Thanks for watching, everyone.